Judentum sein, sondern die Vernichtung der jüdischen Rasse in Europa.
Let's look at the contractor we've hired. Let's look at his foundation first. What is he building on? What foundation does he have? I want to start with his parents. Now, as Barack Obama would say, let me be clear. I want you to know that I am in no means attacking his family. And in fact, I think after the first 5 minutes of the show tonight, you're actually going to feel sorry for the little boy, Barry Obama. Redistribution of wealth. The man was a committed communist. We were all liberals before we even knew what liberals were. This is a mixture of atheism with radical leftist activist kind of stuff. Nietzsche. It's Marx to the extreme, which is Marxism. We're members of the East Shore Unitarian Church. This is a left-leaning congregation in Bellevue near Seattle. And communist. Is this guy a socialist or a Marxist? He is a socialist. I feel sorry for the man, but the tragedy of this kid's childhood is staggering. His parents seemingly, from what you can piece together, his parents seemingly placed radical politics over everything else, including their little boy. How about how many of us have been abandoned for a Marxist political theory or politics? This didn't happen to little Barack Obama once, but twice. Both parents. Brace yourself as I introduce you to this man's tragic childhood. First, we start with Barack Obama Sr. This is the foundation of this man's house. Here are his parents. The little boy. Barack Obama Sr. Barack Obama Sr., again, not name-calling, just telling you the truth. The man was a committed communist. And then he only visited his son once. I'm not sure if this is the picture. Obviously, San Francisco. Of his mother now, it's Dorothy from Kansas, right? That's what everybody says. Dorothy from Kansas. And again, I'm not disparaging his parents. We just have to get to know his parents. Obama said that she was quoting him, the dominant figure in my formative years. The values she taught me continue to be, keywords, my touchstone when it comes to how I go about the world of politics. Mom, my touchstone. Do we have the picture of Mom, please? Stanley Ann Dunham. There she is. I'm sure she was a great mom. She is his touchstone, the values and the things she taught him, his touchstone when it comes to politics. She was described by a friend as, quote, a fellow traveler. If anybody who reads about progressives and Marxism, you recognize that language. Her friend added, we were all liberals before we even knew what liberals were. That she may have been a practitioner of something called critical theory. This is a mixture of atheism with radical leftist activist kind of stuff. Nietzsche. It's Marx to the extreme. She left her son with her parents. This is the second time this poor little boy was left by a parent. Left with these people. His grandparents. I'm sure his grandparents back in Hawaii were great. Obama has portrayed his mother's parents as conservative Methodists and Baptists from Kansas. There's a problem with that. At some point they changed, because when they lived in Washington State, these two, his mom's parents, were members of the East Shore Unitarian Church. This is a left-leaning congregation in Bellevue near Seattle. Who was that strong figure? The mentor during his impressionable teen years? Obama in his book only identified him as Frank in his memoir, and because no journalist here in America will do their job, it took a guy in New Zealand a researcher, a blogger, finally to uncover and publish who the mentor was. It was this man, Frank Marshall Davis. Frank, the reason why he didn't put Marshall Davis there is because he was a black poet and communist with an FBI file. So nothing to see here, right? Just move along. I mean, no wonder the mainstream media hasn't given an ounce of credibility to any claims of socialism. To me, it is amazing to me. This kid didn't have a chance to be rooted in the Founding Fathers. This guy doesn't have a chance to actually think anything but radical thoughts based on everybody in his life so far who's defending capitalism. But then Barack Obama goes to college. Now, here's how he described the company, in his words, that he kept in school.
To avoid being mistaken for such a sellout, I chose my friends carefully. The more politically active black students, the foreign students, the Chicanos, the Marxist professors.
Okay. This is time when he changes his name from Barry to Barack. He goes to college. After college, after going with the Marxist professors and the radicals, he joins a church. This guy's church. A church which is radical liberation theology, Marxism. Please look it up, America. Black liberation theology. This was led by Jeremiah Wright. Now, Barack Obama didn't just join this church, he stayed there for 20 years. He and Michelle were married by Reverend Wright. His children were baptized by him. We obviously have hashed and rehashed all the Jeremiah Wright rantings. We don't need to do that again. You know who this guy is. But why is it when you have this guy as a spiritual advisor, no one in the media will touch on his new spiritual advisor, who we will touch on, more than touch on, in a minute? The discussion of, is this guy a socialist or a Marxist, is meaningless. It's as stupid as the argument we had 10 years ago when we were arguing, yes, he did. No, he didn't do that with that woman. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. America knew the answer that he did do it with that woman, and it does matter because character matters, and we know the answer now. He is a socialist. He is.
Himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people or the white culture. I don't know what it is. Doesn't like white people. I'm saying he has a problem. This guy is, I believe, a racist.
Wenn es dem internationalen Finanzjudentum in und außerhalb Europas gelingen sollte, die Völker noch einmal in einen Weltkrieg zu stürzen, dann wird das Ergebnis nicht der Sieg des Judentums sein, sondern die Vernichtung der jüdischen Rasse in Europa.